Hello, friends. Hello, family. How are we doing today? Are all of our spiritual junkie friends ready to get their fix? I don't know why, but the term spiritual junkie has been playing in my mind a lot lately. Although I feel like it might imply to some people that there's something wrong with having kind of an obsession sometimes with looking at everything through a spiritual lens. And I can see a drawback to it. I've lived a drawback to it before for sure. But on the other hand, there is nothing wrong with living in tune, like living in line with the frequency that's in line for you. I feel like these bells here, they play at random and they are to confirm what is being said. And I can explain more about that later if it occurs to me. Sorry, I'm starting to stumble over my words here, but at any rate, that's pertinent. That is pertinent for this read. So, let's see. Collective today, I think Earth lovers. Like me, you have a real appreciation for the interdependence of all life, all occurrences on Earth here. And the environment, the ecosystem is probably to you the most obvious proof, like the most obvious example of our interdependence, of the connectedness, of all things that ever occur, that it ever exist, all timelines, etc., etc. And I would imagine, no, I don't have to imagine, I'm intuiting. My collective here is either experiencing for the first time or isn't quite familiar yet with confirmation, the phenomena of coming into alignment, becoming spiritually aware, feeling the truth, but then something happens in life. Something unexpected, a challenge, a test, like new levels, new devils kind of stuff. And it pushes you out of alignment. And then that's when you start trying to get your fix. That's when you start chasing that feeling of enlightenment again, like a junkie chases the dragon. So that's apparently what I'm getting into with this read, which is crazy because that is a heavy topic. And I have very little time to do this before I leave for an excursion today. Actually, I have somebody knocking on my door this very minute who I will go shoo away. Just need to pause this. It's kind of interesting to me because I feel like this is such a sacred topic that has just come up for me, or come up for you, really. At the top of this reading, it's interesting to me that it should have an interruption, that it should occur to me at a time when I don't have a lot of time to explore this deeply. But I feel like there's a reason for that. Spirit moves in all things, and it wants me to get into it. I prefer they, want me to get into this without going too deeply into it, which I think is because we're going to look at this more than once, And as a reader, it's probably better for me to, sorry, I'm looking through my decks. I'm deciding which one I want to do this with. I'm going to go for Tarot Apocalypsis. Yeah, I think what it is that this read will need more than one read, which is probably good. Oh, and it's funny too, because I think it's been like a whole week since I posted a tarot reading. But as I have mentioned before, it is not my plan or my goal to do daily reads. I know a lot of readers, they do several a day. But for me, this is a part of a larger network of things I am involved in that are all kind of interconnected, and I am working slowly but surely on bringing them all together, and we will see if something else crosses my path while they're coming together that changes my goals, or if these goals all come together of their own accord. You know, the spirit has to move through things to prove that it's the right direction to go in. You know, right's not exactly the word. It's not about right or wrong. It's about harmony. I don't know how else to describe that, but if you're vibing with this reading, you'll know what I mean. We're here to be family too. So I will share my life and my perspective, where I come from, with you along the way. Not to center readings on me, but to let you know if I am a relatable person, basically. So let's get into this a little bit. I'm going to just pull 3 to start out with. I'm thinking this is kind of like a sandwich. It bookends. Meat in the middle, auxiliary stuff on the sides. And I am hearing I should pull them all by feel, not by fall. There's one. Slow down the energy for the second pull. Confirmation on my chimes. Slow down, slow down. So this is a call for anyone watching this. Let's slow down. No pressure. I'm feeling like that one wants to go sideways. Let's see. And maybe I should share with you my tabletop. Let's see. Oh, there we go. It's already pretty much on the right spot already. Oh, that's good. Good enough. Good enough for now. And a third one. I'm feeling kind of like we might have a bridge between 2 timelines going on here with our... The cards are showing up for me so far. All right. I'm typically a fan of slow, calm spirituality. I know a lot of people, they like a lot of excitement. I like that too, to be fair. I think of it as the difference between like the kind of church I grew up in. I was Quaker as a child, and the Quakers get together and meditate for an hour every week. They sit in silence and allow the spirit of God to fill them to quake. Which means they might subtly vibrate with the feeling of the energy that they're getting in. At least that's how I would define it, as a alternative spirituality seeker that I am today. But Quakerism definitely laid my foundation. But I also, when I was a little girl, I thought that Catholics were fascinating because everything was so ornate compared to what I was used to. Quakers are very plain. I thought gospel choirs were amazing, like Baptist churches with all the loudness and the, you know what I mean? So there's room for all kinds, but my favorite, I would say, is the slow communing with the moment, to yoke with the present. But there's room for all, and God, source, and the collective of all that is, loves all kinds, because it is all kinds, because everything is God. We are God, and everything that exists is God. At least that's what I believe. And if you're vibing with my channel, you might want to know that, so that you know if I'm the reader for you, right? All right, so we've got 2 of Pentacles, we've got 9 of Cups, and we've got the Magician. Oh, cool. Okay, collective, you are moving into starting something. You want to be starting something. You got to be starting something. You want to be starting something. You got to be starting something. Too high to get under. Yeah, yeah. You too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle. Okay. Are you stuck in the middle? Just because the middle one was really speaking out to me. Glowing. Oh, and at first it wanted to come out reverse, but I felt strongly to move it sideways. We got wishes. Wishes. What do you wish for? Okay. So you've been juggling endeavors. The Two of Pentacles, my spiritual junkies. You've gone through a phase where both your alignment and your faith have been challenged. Because sometimes when we fall out of alignment, faith gives us sustenance through those periods while we face the new devils that come with new levels, so to speak. And sometimes life can just throw so many new devils your way, and you don't get enough support because people have agency, free will, what have you. And it's not destiny, it's just what's happened. You can end up overwhelmingly challenged and lose your faith. And then that can pull you that much further away from getting back into alignment, being able to effectively face those new devils, transmute that shadow energy, bring things into the light, integrate them, accept them, embrace them, love them, hold that complexity. And I think that the Two of Pentacles energy here showing up this time is not so much about making decisions as it's about, I think that's a little overexposed. Give me a second. Yeah, that's better. All right. Sorry about that. What can I say? I am an excessively detail conscious person. It goes along with being neurodivergent, I think. All right. Where was I? A lot of activity going on in my house upstairs. And I think you're bringing yourself back together, but you're juggling different ideas now. That's funny because I was just talking about things that I am bringing together when I mentioned that I'm not planning on being a daily reader. So I would imagine I'm reaching out to a collective in a similar boat, maybe not quite at the same point in the process that I am. You're probably in more of a chaotic space, juggling things, but you're doing well. I mean, you're not slipping off this rock here that she's juggling her coins on. You can see her here. But she is standing on a shiny, slippery rock in the middle of water. Yeah, so she's really got to be on her toes to keep from dropping any of these things, which can be overwhelming. And you're very much being encouraged to reflect on what do you want? What do you wish for? And if you are honest with yourself about what you really want, you are more empowered to catalyze it with this beautiful magician energy here. Tarot Apocalypsis deck here that I'm reading from is a multicultural, especially the majors. The minors are, each suit in the minors is based on one culture, but the majors, each card is from a different culture, which is pretty cool. I think that the magician here is referencing Sufi mystics. I think. Don't quote me on that. I am getting a confirmation bell though, and I love the reference to which I think it is biblical angels in the background here. which is also making me feel like you have that kind of energetic support that many people refer to as angelic, but in other cultures, they might refer to that energy in a different way. They might see it visually symbolized in a different way. I am particularly fond of the sort of Campbellian, if you want to call it that, Joseph Campbell influenced idea that what symbols in our mythologies, what they represent, are very real. Whether we're just talking about human psychology or we're talking about actual energies that exist outside of our being. But the symbols themselves are not what's like the literal real thing. What they represent is the literal real thing. And we get ourselves into trouble if we think an angel's just an angel, for instance. But if we understand that an angel is a symbol of an energy, then we're in the right place. Confirmation bell. One of my kitties is like, let me out of this room. He's my big boy. I see you. He heard me talk about him and looks at me like, He's so cute. I love him. Mr. Chip. Hi, Mr. Chip. You want to come up say hi? Uh-oh. He's going to cause some problems. Oh, there he is. Come here, you. Oh, I do love you. Sorry, everybody. He's a big one. I have a bunch of tabbies. I didn't pick them out either. They all just showed up. Yep. He's not much of a hugger, though, I have to admit. He's a very cooperative kitty, but he's not a fan of hugging. Okay, so looking at what you want, there's always a whole bunch of things that what you wish for is involved with that you may or may not see, but you probably are intuiting, and I'm guessing it's hitting you on an emotional level. It's just an intuition. And obviously, I'm not getting emotional level cards here yet, but I have only pulled 3 so far, so let's keep going. I am thinking that... Oh, yeah. So everything that we wish for is connected to another thing. Let's say you have some kind of dream about a career, but that dream is largely coming from... Well, maybe you want to get recognized for a certain skill. But if you zoom out and you start thinking about like what kind of lifestyle achieving that dream would require you to live, perhaps that's not the lifestyle you want, something like that. So let's look at that. If we zoom out, well, I think different people in the collective are going to be wishing for different things. It might not all be career dreams. Some people might have family dreams. Some people might have retirement dreams. A wish is a dream your heart makes. No, it's the other way. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. A wish is a dream your heart makes. Whatever you wish for will be. All right, so first of all, I keep hearing we need to ask, what's interfering with your ability to really understand what you want? Confirmation, that is the question to look at. I feel like these chimes are not quite spaced out enough. But then again, maybe we just really actually need this many confirmations. It's very, very randomized. And I haven't used it that often. tone, the random tone generator. So I might need to tweak the code on it a little bit. I'm not a coder. I just know how to use a language model every once in a while to actually do something useful. And no, I'm not supporting a bunch of American data centers and the move fast and break things approach to technological development. I am kind of a hobbyist in some technological things, and I run some local stuff on my computer, and I use some models that are running on servers in other countries. So, at any rate, that's neither here nor there. We've got 3 of Wands upright. We've got 6 of Swords reversed. We've got 9 of Pentacles upright. So what's holding us back here from really honing in on what you really want? Sorry I'm pausing so long, but I'm really sitting with it. I should probably pull a confirmation on that 9 of Pentacles, but thus far, what I'm pulling from this is looking out towards what comes next, but you don't want to leave what's going on right now. And to be fair, maybe there's good reason for that. You know, maybe you've got people to take care of in the here and now. Maybe you've got genuine concerns and loose ends that need to be tied up. But with this 9 of Pentacles here, it does look like you're probably in your comfort zone. Okay, what's preventing the journeying into the next phase? Because you're looking at what comes next, but you're not moving into what comes next. So you have an idea of what you wish for. 4 of Cups reversed. There's probably opportunities available to you that you are not aware of. However, I don't want you to blame yourself for that. Like, oh no, what am I not paying attention to? Like, it's not like that. Perhaps what's available to you is not obvious enough. And then also, we get more about there's an attachment to this 9 of Pentacles energy. Chariot reversed. You could take off. You could take off right now. If you took off in the direction you're thinking of, I should shuffle these one more time. What would you have to leave behind that you don't want to? Slow. Slow down. Just because we've got a 6 of Swords and a Chariot, both reversed, encouraging forward movement, that doesn't mean we had to go real fast, even though a Chariot's a speedy card still. Chariot reversed can also talk about speed without direction. And generally speaking, in my experience, most of the time, when we have a lot of speed, a lot of urgency without a clear purpose for it, it is better to slow down rather than say, oh, I figured out this purpose. I'm just going to keep this sense of urgency and apply it right away to this thing I decided. Because we can make the wrong choices sometimes in that space. And it can be, it's usually healthier to slow it down. Slow down and listen. Like the colors coming through here, real calming. What are we looking at here? Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords this time is giving self-imposed limitations. It doesn't always to me. I'm very keen as a reader to speak out against the popular idea in the alternative spirituality market that all limitations are self-imposed. It's just obvious that that is not true, at least to me. I think that assertion is lacking and compassionate if not handled with extreme care and extreme delicacy, and it's often not. I understand the idea of manifesting our consciousness, but our consciousness is so much more than our thoughts, so just controlling your thoughts is not going to do the trick anyway. But at any rate, I could get more into that in the future. It's for another reading probably, but needed to be thrown out here for some kind of reason. Oh, that's funny. I was saying that I thought the chimes were a little too often, and now they've decided to calm down. Interesting. Like I said, I haven't used it much, so oh, there it comes back. Cool. All right. Apparently it is working. It just let me know, like ding-a-ling. Oh, what time is it? Oh, I should be getting going. So let's see. The next thing, that you're not investing in yourself because of these self-imposed limitations, but you've got really good ideas. Ace of Swords is giving separate the wheat from the chaff. Discernment, which is not always what I'm vibe with Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is also really good communication, cutting through subterfuge, cutting through your own confusion. Your self-imposed limitation is confusion. You're doubting the messages you're getting. You're second guessing them. Well, what if I'm not interpreting them right? You have to feel it in your gut. I'm really getting to like solar plexus, like in the creative area. You'll feel it. You'll feel it. Don't doubt it. Because even if going in that direction doesn't lead to everything you wanted, always remember there's always going to be new levels and new devils if you keep doing the work. It just is what it is. But you have what it takes to do that work beautifully. You are a beautiful person, becoming increasingly beautiful with every step you take. You need to believe that. And that is a first step towards cutting through the confusion and removing these self-imposed limitations. So I think Spirit is saying that your task for now, my dear collective, is slow down. Don't second guess. Feel what you wish for. You have offers and things coming through. Oh, you know what? I should next time do a little bit more of this view in the video, because I created this spirit box too to work on the right side of the screen. And it's just there so that people can take a look and see if the words every once in a while might converge with something they're hearing in the reading, and it might open up something that's unique just for them. There's a bunch of names in there and dates and numbers and all kinds of stuff. I'll be constantly adding to it. There's like thousands of words and phrases in it so far, and I will be adding more as time goes forward. And if you watched this whole video and you really enjoyed it and you would like to subscribe and like this video, you can also drop me a comment and let me know any words, names, dates you would like added to the spirit box so that maybe they'll come through for you in the future. And I will see you later. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending a brief amount of your life with me. I truly feel it's an honor. Bye-bye.